It's your girl T here, back with the Tuesday vidya. I know you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day because you're tea timers. It's absolutely what we do. Our affirmation of the day is I'm healthy, whole, and complete. We're healthy, whole, and complete. We're tea timers. It's absolutely how we live our days, healthy, whole, and complete. I had a Tuesday video for you. It was all queued up. It was ready to go. It was going to pop up for you guys at 8:30, and I changed my mind. Now, let me start with this. I look at my video feed for the views, not because I am looking for the notoriety. I'm looking at what gets the most traffic because I'm trying to help you guys in the best way possible. And when I see a video get a lot of traffic, I know that that's hitting a point that people need to see, and it's affecting the most people at the same time. So I did see that my video on being addicted to negativity was getting a lot of views. And I have dealt with a few clients this morning where we're dealing with trauma and we're manifesting through trauma. So I thought that is very closely tied to the video I did that I just discussed with you. So I'm going to do a video on specifically manifesting through trauma. Now, before I do this video, I want to do a disclaimer. I am in no way a doctor. I don't have a PhD of psychology or any of those things, but I have worked through trauma with quite a few of my close friends. I have someone very close to me who has mental illness. They don't like to talk about it, so I'll keep them anonymous. And I have watched a lot of videos dealing with trauma and things of that nature. And I feel like I am very qualified to speak of this topic, even though it was on my own regard that I found these things. I feel like I have a good understanding of how it would affect you and how it can be tied to manifestation. So I'm just going to say to you, when manifesting through trauma, if you watch a video by Nadine Burke, she does a TED talk on childhood trauma and studies that she has done regarding that topic, and she has correlated through science, obviously, that trauma causes long-term health issues. The reason being, she says it in the video as, like, she does it as a, why am I losing my words? She does it as an analogy so you can appreciate it. Like if you're walking through the forest and you see a bear, you get into fight or flight response mode, which means you either are ready to fight the bear or you're ready to run from the bear because your body signals danger and you are in that fight or flight mode. And she puts it this way: if the bear comes home to you every night, then what do? That means your body is in a consistent state of fight or flight until you deal with that trauma that you have from a youth, because you are consistently scared and fearful because you came from a place of trauma. So your body is conditioned to be in that state all the time. So when a lot of you are coming to me through correspondence saying you're not doing manifestation right, you're just, what's the wording people will use? They'll say, I'm pessimistic, I'm not focusing on the positive. A lot of times with trauma, it's more than focusing on the positive, because you're breaking a chain of command with your body. Your body's used to being in this fight or flight mode and you're trying to get out of that. It's not going to go away specifically with just saying, I'm beautiful, I'm happy, life is good. You have to kind of break through the root in order to get to the end result. Now, in saying that, it is definitely not impossible to manifest through trauma. I've seen it. I watch a person called Redefined You, her channel. She went through a lot of trauma and she was diagnosed with a whole bunch of different things, and she manifested through it after going to a psychologist and finding that it didn't help her, going to the psychiatric ward and finding it made her condition worse. She started manifesting through the trauma, and she is in a good, healthy place now with a thriving channel and all sorts of businesses. If you are manifesting through trauma, you want to make sure that you address the most predominant issues at hand first. So because your brain is in this fight or flight mode, you want to say things to yourself when you get in that anxious, triggered state, like, I am safe. I am safe. You're telling your brain, I am safe. Thank you for watching out for me, but I don't need all of this adrenaline running through my body, and I don't need to be scared because I am safe. I don't need this response at this moment in time. You also want to say things to yourself that validate yourself, that validate who you are as a whole person, like, I'm healthy, happy, and whole. Every thought I think gets better every day. all my thoughts are positive. Only my positive thoughts manifest. You can throw in, I'm a master at manifesting, because you want to tell your brain you're reconditioning it and you're a master at manifesting, so your thoughts are actually coming true. I am a firm believer in forgiveness of yourself, of the circumstances. You don't necessarily have to forgive whoever hurt you. That's up to you. I do that with other things. There's something called a Ho'oponopono prayer on YouTube. It is a Hawaiian prayer that all it says is, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And this is a Hawaiian cleansing prayer that tells your brain that you are forgiving everything surrounding the circumstances that are causing you grief. So I believe that this is a perfect thing for people, especially of trauma, to listen to first thing in the morning and last thing at night, because establishing that forgiveness within yourself for the things that happen outside of your control is a really, really good thing to get into. Outside of the Ho'oponopono prayer, you can do meditation. There's Jason Stevenson's meditations on YouTube. He has a really gentle, soft voice. You can listen to that in a meditative state for 15 minutes a day when you first wake up, go to bed. During the day, you can get into what's called SATs. I'm not going to get much into that, but just briefly, stats is akin to state of sleep, which means you get into that drowsy state before you fall asleep, and you kind of go into that guided meditation, like I said with Jason Stevenson, healing trauma, and you kind of wash away the negative thoughts and negative states within your mind, and you recondition it with the new states and the new place that you want to be. You can journal, you can do tapping exercises. You need to figure out which way is most conducive to you for healing. People will say burn letters, which means you write a letter to yourself or to whoever hurt you, you burn it, and it gives you a feeling of release. Those things don't work for me, the burn letters, but it definitely could work for some of you. There's a lot of different techniques on how you can manifest yourself out of this traumatized state and into a better feeling state, but the main thing that I want to very much stress is stop yourself as much as you can from telling people that you are a victim of trauma, that you are a victim of depression, you're a victim of anxiety. Stop telling people and relating to the old condition that you were. Although you may still be depressed, you may have anxiety, you may still feel like a victim, we don't want to connect ourselves to those old states, because the more that you keep talking about it and rehashing it, the more that you're manifesting more of those feelings, more of those thoughts, more of that fight or flight response from your body, because you're telling yourself over and over, I am depressed. I am a victim of trauma. I am whatever follows I am. You're telling your brain that's what you are. I know it's easy to go to, I have depression, I am depression, whatever way you say it. And I know it's hard to break the cycle of saying that, because that's probably something you've identified with since being a child. But the key to getting success in moving past the trauma is identifying yourself as a survivor, a warrior. You're healthy, whole, and complete now. You are a whole and complete person outside of the old identity. We want to get away from that old story as much as possible and shift into the new version of ourselves, because like I just said, the more we tell the story, the more it becomes our future. So I am really tied to people rewriting a new story, like as in pen and paper. I feel like pen and paper, you get more concentration, and they have studies all over the place about how if you write something down, it becomes true because you're very connected to writing it down. It feels final. So I'm very, I support, is what I'm trying to say, people rewriting their new story of who they are going to be today as opposed to yesterday, and reading that story first thing in the morning and last thing at night. The last piece I wanted to say is, if you have someone in your life that you love very much and they are a victim of trauma, and all you want for them is for them to feel better and for them to be the luxurious, lovely queen or king that they are, you can manifest for other people. If you are really really close to someone and you want to see them in a healthy way, the best way to manifest for them is to identify them as a healed, healthy person. Instead of walking around saying, my girlfriend or boyfriend, my brother or sister is depressed, bipolar, schizophrenic, they're a victim of trauma. You have to describe them to people as they're a survivor, they are a warrior, they are, you have to make it when you're telling people that they are not their old condition, that they are a new healed person. So when I describe now the person who I told you was close to me and suffered from mental illness, I say, oh, they're healthy now. My person is healthy now. They are thriving. They are so comfortable. They have so much inner peace within them now. That's another thing you can affirm for. You can say, I am inner peace. We want to make sure that we're telling our brain all the time, I am inner peace. My thoughts always serve me. I am a healthy, whole, and complete person. I am enough as I am. You don't have to be anything more than yourself. You are enough as is. But if you weren't told as a child that you were enough, it was tied to other things, that it was like a reward system. You do this, you're enough. You do that, you might be enough. You do this, and you might be like a shrivel of enough. When you don't have that validation within yourself, or were nurtured to think that you were good enough, it's really hard, if you're not telling yourself you're good enough, to get that idea solidified into your brain. So that's another point that you have to see through, that you are enough. Everything's working out for you, and everything in your life is perfect. Everything in my life is perfect has been a really great one for me. When I'm really upset and I don't know how to get through something, I say everything in my life is perfect, because you're indicating to yourself that everything in your world is perfect. It's like, isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful was a Neville Goddard coined term, where a woman lulled herself to sleep every night by saying, isn't it wonderful? And it covered all bases. It meant everything in her life was wonderful, so it washed away all the negativity. There is multiple ways to get to the end result. I just wanted to do a quick video about trauma and tell you it is more than possible to get through trauma with manifestation. I think it is the strongest way to get through trauma, because science is just catching up now and saying that they're giving people pills, they're giving people all of these scientific things like pills or cognitive therapy, and it's not helping people. They're coming out sometimes worse, and they're saying, oh, it's all tied to your brain, and you have to use your brain and your thoughts to get over the trauma that you've been through. Well, duh. In the manifestation community, we've been saying that for years, except we're woo-woo and holistic. This is the way to go, people. Retrain your thoughts to focus on yourself as a whole and healthy person, and you will see the benefits. And I'm not negating from how much you've been through, because I think you're all brave and amazing human beings. Probably the most amazing people on earth are people dealing with mental illnesses and getting through trauma. You are stronger than you think you are. So I wanted to do this video to just tell you, you can use manifestation to your favor to get through these things. If you guys have questions, y'all know what to do. You can comment below, and you can always email me. I love y'all, but not as much as you should be loving yourselves. Have a beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Bye.